Hello, welcome to the Chazz Palminteri podcast. We have a great show today and we have a great guest, but I will not tell you who it is until I tell you some things about what's going on with my site, chazzpalminteri.net. Okay, we have some really, really great things here. This is for the guys, okay? This is really, well, not just the guys. I mean, the girls could buy this too. But guys, if you buy this for your wife, for Christmas or for anything. Look, one of the great ones. We have a new hoodie, and it says one of the great ones with Bronx tail in the front. Guys, if you buy this for your wife, you'll be in. You can go out with the guys on a Friday night. You can go to Vegas with the boys. You just tell her that she's one of the great ones. No, seriously. It's a great gift for Christmas, or it's a great gift just for any time. Also, one of my new shirts that are coming up. Check this out, okay? This is on the long sleeve T-shirt. Is it better to be loved or feared? With a Bronx tail in the front. Also, on chazzpalminteri.net, we have the original poster that I do for my one-man show. If you'd like to see the schedule of the one-man show, which I'll be doing for 2022, go to chazzpalminteri.net. I'll be appearing all over the country. I'll be in Staten Island, too, at the historic St. George Theater. Check that one out. That's going to be fun. Okay, here it is. Okay, and, of course, and wait a minute, it fell down over here. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. My father wrote this on a card. If you saw the movie, you know the story. Put it in my room, and all I did was work hard not to disappoint him. And I said, I will not waste my talent. You know, I had this card, and I put it in my son's room when he was born, and my daughter, and I kept it there. And as they grew up and went to school, you know, elementary school, then high school, and they kept looking at this card. I said, you have to follow this card. My son went to the top musical school in the country, in the world, Berkeley School in Boston, graduated. And my daughter right now is at the University of Michigan, the top musical theater school in the country. Yeah, I have my cup, Michigan, go blue. And so I can only say it worked for my kids. And I'm sure it could work for you. Or it could be to anybody that you want to inspire. And you can pick this up on my site, chazzpalminteri.net. If you have questions and if you like to do a one-on-one with me, you can go to the site. I do a one-on-one if you want to talk about your career and you need some career advice, or as an actor, as a writer, anything like that, just go to chazzpalminteri.net. Today we have Neighborhood Logic. We all know what Neighborhood Logic is. That's where you are the stars. You send me questions, and I and my wonderful son Dante, who's here, we answer them, right, D?
Right. That's right.
We answer the questions, and, you know, sometimes I always say, what are you going to pay to see a shrink for? What do you want to pay all that money? You call me, right? Neighborhood Logic. And I use some Neighborhood Logic, and I straighten it out. Sometimes Neighborhood Logic is the best logic.
That's right, everybody. It's Neighborhood Logic. Neighborhood Logic time.
All right, you're very excited. What's that?
Neighborhood Logic horn. Okay.
Is that like a buzzer we got or something? All right. My son, he's having a nice day today. All right, Dante, what is the first question,
Wait,
Dante?
Do you have an app that does this? It's an app. All right,
Okay.
Neighborhood Logic.
All right. Come on. Let's go. Let's have the first
Okay, here we go.
All right, first tell me who it is and what's the question.
All right, this is from Jake.
Jake. From what?
He said he's a really big fan.
Yeah.
He's a really big fan. He's from Sacramento, California.
Okay, what does
All
Jake
right.
want to know?
Jake wants to know, oh boy, this is
Go
going to
ahead.
be a good one.
Good.
Chazz, love the one-man show. Seen it a few times. I have a quick question for you. What is the difference between a real tough guy and a fake tough guy?
Oh, wow.
He says, what's the difference between a real tough guy and a fake tough guy? And what makes a tough guy?
What makes it
Could
tough?
it be possible that you're a real tough guy and you grew up in Beverly Hills or Greenwich, Connecticut, or, yeah.
That's what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay, well, that's a two-part question. First of all, what makes a real tough guy? A real tough guy, like guys from my neighbor, they were real tough guys. I don't consider myself a tough guy. I consider myself a guy who could handle himself very well. But when it comes to real tough guys, I grew up with real tough guys. I mean, a real tough guy, people go, what makes a real tough guy? A lot of people think they're tough guys. But I would say, you know what? When you're really a tough guy, when you meet another tough guy, that's when you really know. And you don't shit your pants. So in my neighborhood, there were some great big tough guys. I mean, guys that I would never want to fight in an alleyway. I mean, these guys, the hardest guy to fight, my son, is the guy who doesn't care about his life. Me, I cared about my life. A lot of people care about their lives. But a real guy who can handle himself, who doesn't care, who says, you know what, you're going to have to kill me. Those are guys I just don't want to fight. I want to walk away from. So what in Bronx Tale, what does Sonny say? He goes, you think you're a tough guy with a gun in your hand? It's when the other guy has a gun in his hand. Now we see who the real tough guy is. And that's true. I mean, as far as could there be a tough guy from Beverly Hills? A kid who grew up in Beverly Hills is a tough guy? I don't know. Well, think about it. Who would you rather fight? A kid who grew up in Beverly Hills or a kid who grew up in the Bronx? I don't want to fight anybody who grew up in the Bronx.
But just because you grew up in, let's say, Long Beach or the Bronx, that doesn't make you a tough guy.
No, it doesn't make you a tough guy. It doesn't make you a tough guy if you grew up in the Bronx either, to be honest. But, I mean, George Carlin did a great bit on that. I mean, he used to say, do you want to fight Todd and Hunter, or do you want to fight Vinny and Louie? I'd rather fight Todd and Hunter. Carlin was one of my favorite comics. He was funny at Todd. He used to go, fuck Todd. I don't care about Todd. I'll kick Todd in the ass. Vinny and Louie, I might have a problem with. And if you think about that, Carlin was right about that. But kidding aside, look, I think there's a lot of guys who think they're tough guys. A lot of these guys, they go to California and they make believe they're tough. I call them make believe tough guys. They tell directors and producers, yeah, I got out of the joint, I was this, I was that, and you find out later it's all bullshit. Some actors that were on shows were real tough guys. I mean,
real tough guy, fake tough guy. Tony Sirico.
Tony Sirico, real tough guy.
That's a real tough guy.
Real tough guy, absolutely. Junior, I knew Tony Sirico, who played Paulie Walnuts. I mean, this guy was a tough guy. That's a real tough guy. Can handle himself, stand-up guy, great guy. In fact, if he's watching the show, I send my love to him. Terrific guy and a wonderful, fun. He was so funny on the show, with Paulie Walnuts. A great classic actor.
Real tough guy, fake tough guy. Bill de Blasio.
Bill de Blasio? No comment. No, he's not a tough guy. Bill de Blasio's not a tough guy. Come on. No, you can see he's not a tough guy. You want to get me in trouble over here?
Excuse me, William Wilhelm Jr., his real name.
His real name is William Wilhelm?
Yeah, he changed it to pander to Italian Americans.
Oh, really? William! No, come on. No, look. I wish he, I can't talk about the mayor. I try to make amends with him after we had that argument, and we did. But is he a tough guy? No, I wouldn't say a tough guy. So
heard it here first.
What's that? You heard it here first. No, he's not a tough guy. But he's the mayor, so that makes him tough.
Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
He's not the mayor anymore.
Well, that's right, not anymore. You're right. That's right. Oh, that's right. He's not the mayor no more.
Anymore.
Fuck him. That's right. He's not the mayor no more. He ain't a tough guy. No, he's not a tough guy at all. What am I saying? I just realized it.
Yeah, Eric Adams is the new mayor.
Eric Adams. Yes, I like Eric Adams. He was a cop, so I hope he does a great job. Look, you know me. I don't talk about politics. I never talk about politics. I don't want to. I like to, talk about life. So what's the next question? We got any other questions, D?
Well, what makes a tough guy? Tell us.
What makes a real tough guy is a guy who knows he's tough, but he doesn't tell people he's tough.
Is a real tough guy someone who walks around and says they're a tough guy?
No. Anybody who tells you they're a tough guy is probably not a tough guy. The tough guys that I knew were very quiet to themselves. And, it's the guys who are quiet Those are the guys you want to mess with. A guy with a big mouth, you know.
What's that story that you told me about your uncle? You told me this about, you
About
see
Manfro?
who's a tough guy when the other guy has a gun.
Oh, well, Manfro, my Uncle Manfro, Joey Manfro, was a tough guy. He got shot 6 times. 6 times. The guy was chasing him down the block. 1957, I think it was. Chased him, shot him 6 times, hit him 6 times. And then when finally my uncle fell, he put the gun to his head and click, 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 he ran out of bullets. True story. Cops came, they arrested the guy, and he shot him 6 times, and he survived. He's a classic.
That's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy. I remember, like I told you the story, we went to a club, and one of his he owned a piece of a nightclub, and some young wise guy's son took out a gun and started threatening people. And my uncle walked over to him and said, "Put the gun down." And he said, "Fuck you, come and take it." And he shoved the gun. He was going like this. "Come on, go on." And, and everybody was panicking. And he just walked right over to him, took the gun out of his hand and slapped him. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a tough guy.
All right.
That's a tough guy.
Next question.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from Luco.
Luco or Luca?
Luco.
Luco. Okay.
Luco from Canada.
From Canada. Okay.
From
What?
Canada. Okay, from Canada.
Go ahead.
At age 55, I've learned not to take things personally as well as brush off negative comments. But how many times can one turn the other cheek without looking like a chump? What's the best option for handling an insult? Ignore it or a slap to the face?
Well, you know what? Somebody insulted you. I mean, that's a tough one. Sometimes, the thing I always say, folks, I always say 10 seconds of patience could stop a lifetime of misery.
Yeah, what if you keep getting shit on?
What?
If you keep thinking that and somebody keeps it coming.
They keep it coming. They keep insulting you. Then you got to, look, there is a point you got to tell them, try not to go there anymore. Try not to be in front of him. Try not to be in his company. But if the guy actually seeks you out and keeps it up, and then you're going to have to say something to him and say, "Hey, if this keeps up, I'm not going to like it. I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. And if it keeps up, you and I we're going to have to go outside." But I try to stay away from that because things happen, man. You could hit a guy, he falls down, hits his head, he dies, and now you're up for manslaughter. Simple things like that happen. I've been there. I was a bouncer for years in New York, and sometimes I would always try to say, "Walk away, Chazz, walk away." Was I insulted a bunch of times? Yeah, and I walked away, and you know what? It kind of diffused the thing, and the people walked out of the club. Was a couple of times that I lose my control a couple of times? Try not to, but, the guy got in my face and he insulted me, then he insulted me again. And, then I had to do what I had to do, But
Sounds like a real tough guy.
no, I don't claim to be a tough guy. I think I can handle myself. But when I always say tough guys, I think of the guys in my neighborhood where I grew up. I think of Moach, this guy Moach, and
What's the story you told me about him? You were honking your horn once?
oh, my God, I was honking my horn. I was in the neighborhood, and this car was double parked, and I couldn't get through. And I'm like beeping the horn, and come on. What the hell is... I'm yelling out the window, and all of a sudden, I saw this big head come out. Because Moach had a head like this. He had a head like a lion. And his head came out, and he just looked at me, and I went, "Yo, Moach, yo, hey, come on. I got all day, buddy. I got all day. Take your time." What am I going to say to Moach? I mean, guys like that, Tony Tarzo and Tony Ivino. I mean, these guys were boxers. They were fighters. Billy Bello, the great Billy Bello. A couple of other friends of mine. Bobby Beast, Patsy, all these guys. These guys were tough guys. I mean, they were tough guys. I mean, you didn't mess with these guys. Wow. Those were tough guys. I don't consider myself in that league. My friend Babes was the tough guy. He was like lightning. He was like a Roberto Duran. Before you knew it, he was behind you, hitting you with 30 punches.
Yeah, he beat up a guy from the back of the bus to the
Oh,
front
from
of
the
the bus?
back of the bus to the front of the bus. Yeah. I mean, some guys just have that innate ability to give pain and not feel pain. You know, me, I boxed for years, and I taught my son how to fight, and my son is terrific, boxing, MMA, but I always told him, I said, I taught you how to fight so you don't fight.
Didn't you get choked out once by a chef?
I didn't get choked out.
He was choking you.
He was choking me.
Because you were in a fight in a diner.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the diner. It was the Pancake House. We had a fight in, I think it was IHOP years ago. And the chef came out, and somebody was choking me. I looked up, and this guy had a big, long hat on. And before I knew it, my other friends hit him, and oh, God, it was a mess. Yeah, no, we got into some fights. It was pretty crazy. But what was the question we were on? I told you
when to turn the other cheek and when to
not.
not.
When to turn the other cheek. Luco, that's up to you. You know, as much as you could take it, I would turn the other cheek. I would walk away. I would try not to get in his company. But remember, 10 seconds of patience.
And my whole thing with that is sooner or later, he's going to act that way around someone.
He might, yes.
Who doesn't give a shit
Who
about.
doesn't give a shit and ends up knocking him out. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you got a life to live. You know, if you get in a fight, you hurt this guy, now you have a battery charge, you have an assault charge.
He hurts you, you know. Sooner or later.
He's going to meet somebody who goes, I don't care about going to prison for whatever.
Exactly. Sooner or later, guys like that walk around their whole life wanting to be slapped. And sooner or later, somebody slaps him or works him over. As my father used to say, I wish them the life they have. And I never forgot that. Don't wish him bad. Just wish him the life he has. Because sooner or later, he will mess up. Guaranteed. Don't wish people bad.
Soon he'll be like that to a guy like Moch.
No, Moch.
And then there's a problem.
Moch would kill him. Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
You know,
you walk around life as an asshole, you're going to meet someone who doesn't care.
Yes, you walk around like as an asshole. Sooner or later, you're going to get a beating. And a well-deserved beating.
All right, next question.
Go ahead.
This is from G. Hi, Chazz. Really love what you're doing. My question is how to cope with being successful, and how does one in your position, for example, motivate himself over and over again to be consistent?
Wow. That's a very good question. G. Is that a female or a male? G.
G.
G. All right. Well, okay. We don't know. Well, G, you know, how to motivate yourself to be successful after you made it? Is that what the question was?
Yeah, how do you motivate yourself while you're already successful?
You know what? That's a very good question. Because
you got it already.
That's the hardest part. Getting there is really hard. Making it is very hard. Staying there is even harder. Because now you got money, you got fame. So why do you get up in the morning? Why? What do you have to go to work for? You don't have to. You don't have to be motivated. But the best thing that'll motivate you is if you have passion. Passion is everything. If you could find your passion in life, you could be successful. And I say that because people say, well, you know, I wanted to be an actor. Well, maybe you didn't have really the passion for it. I wanted to write a book. Well, maybe you didn't have the passion for it. But if you have passion, and you make money at something that you have passion, you'll never work a day in your life. Never.
Well, look at somebody like Elon Musk. He works something like 120 hours a week. He's worth over $300 billion.
Yes.
But he still works 120 hours a week because he's passionate about what he does.
I mean, that dude's just
That's
playing.
John, just so you know, that's our photographer, cameraman, John the One. We call him John the One because he's the magic man. He can make anything happen with his wand here. But that's a very good question. What makes Elon Musk do that?
I feel like he's just playing around.
I don't know. I feel like
he's sending motherfuckers to space.
But he's passionate about it. He's a genius. He's
just
smart.
Having fun.
Yeah, but he has a passion to do something with his life. You know, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. We talked about that. This guy knows the clock is ticking. One day he will be dead, like all of us will be. And he doesn't want to waste his talent, and he wants to do something with it. I think it's okay. I think that's what it is to keep the passion going. That's what keeps me here. I want to write. I think my best work is always in front of me. I want to write more plays, star in more movies, direct more movies. And that's how I feel. Yeah.
There you go.
What about next question, Dante? My Michigan Cup, go blue. Go ahead.
Go blue. Okay, this one is from Bruno. What would you say is the number one way to attract a girl? One you want to marry versus one you just want to hook up with?
Wow. The number one way to attract a girl, well, there should be a little, asterisk next to that, is to attract a good girl. A girl you want to marry.
I think the best way to attract a girl is if they're wearing Chazz Palminteri Podcast merch found in link in bio.
My merch. Yes, you can go to my merch. Oh, God, that is shameless. No, but you can go to my, you know what? I have this new merch. It's called Chazz Palminteri. God, am I going to do this? Wait a minute, hold on. I got one right here. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to attract a girl? You want to buy something for your girlfriend? Here it is, right there. Let me get the right one here. Oh, my God, I can't believe you led me into that. Here. One of the great ones. ChazzPalminteri.net. Go to this. You give this to your girlfriend. You tell her she's one of the great ones.
Chazz Palminteri merch for sale, link in bio.
That's right. I have another one right here. This one is, where is this one? This one is a long sleeve black t-shirt. I can't believe I'm doing this, Dante. I did this at the beginning of the show. You want me to do it again? Is it better to be loved or feared? Bronx Tale.
There you go.
Bronx Tale in the front.
All right, so what's the best way to attract a girl? Two versions. One you want to marry versus one you want to hook up with.
Well, when you want to marry, I would say be yourself. Be honest. Be who you are. Because if you're yourself, it's too hard to be anybody else. I always say that. Oliver Wendell Holmes said that great line, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Which was a great line. And I think because it's so hard to put up a front, if you're not yourself when you meet a girl, then you got to always be this person that you portrayed you are. Be yourself. And if you end up hooking up together, if she likes you and you like her, you know what? Then it can work out. A girl you just want to hook up with, I mean, I don't know. How do you know that the girl you're hooking up with is not going to be the girl you want to marry? I don't know. I mean, that's a tough question. Maybe she just wants to hook up with you. I would say the whole thing about relationships is go slow. Go slow, man. If she gives a little bit, you give a little bit. A woman doesn't want a guy who's desperate. And just like a man who doesn't want a girl who's desperate. If you look desperate, it makes the other person run. I'm not saying you got to play games, but I'm saying that you got to hold back just a little bit. You know what? The more they give, you give. It's like a chess match. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you really like this person a lot, I think you could explain it to them that you care about them. And if they don't give you what you're giving, then you know that, hey, it's time to pull back. So I just think be yourself, and it'll work out. It'll work out. Just be yourself. I think that's the best advice I could give anybody when meeting a young lady. Dante?
Come on. You can do better than that. Just be yourself.
Well, what do you want me to say? Be myself. Well, yeah.
What should they, what do you think? Dinner and a movie, flowers? I know that flowers worked very well.
Flowers, you know what?
I say that the old school, the things that your friends would make fun of you for, those are the things you got to do.
You know what? When I was 24 years old, I went out with a girl, and we had, I never thought about this big thing about giving flowers. I don't know. When I was young, I said, yeah, I can send her flowers, but I just thought everybody did that. I don't know why women made such a big deal of it. And then one day, I went out with this girl. I was 24 years old, I remember. We had our first date. And it was a great day. We had a wonderful time. And the next day, I get a knock on my door. I'm at my apartment. And it was early in the morning, like 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, man, who the hell is this? I opened the door. It's this guy. He says, you Chazz Palminteri? I said, yeah. I'm 24 years old, right? And he hands me this big thing. And I go, you sure this is for me? Because it looked like flowers. I go, you sure you got the right apartment? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, and I shut the door, I said, what the hell is this? I open up this box, and it's this beautiful dozen roses. And I look at the card, and she said, I had a fantastic time last night. Thank you for the great dinner and date. I'm telling you, I'm bouncing around the whole apartment. I was blown away. You should have seen me. I was like, wow, oh my God. And so I never forgot that because I saw it. That's the first time and only time a woman ever sent me flowers, to be honest with you. And I was blown away by it. And I never forgot that. And so from now on, I do send flowers. Yeah, I think that's a nice idea. Now they send flowers and just be old school, you know.
See, I like what you said about being yourself. I know it sounds cliche, but I think it's right. And the reason is because if you're not yourself and you act like somebody else, you got to pretend for the rest of that relationship.
That's it for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life, you're like George Costanza with the elbow.
With the elbow, yeah. Well, he's an architect.
Yeah,
George Costanza, yes, I'm an architect. Now you got to lie that he's an architect. No. Listen, no matter what job you have, no matter what you do, just be yourself. I remember, I love that movie, Swingers. You know
Great
that movie,
movie.
Swingers?
Great movie.
Oh, yeah. Just a wonderful movie. And I love that at the end when the character, who plays it? John
Favreau.
John Favreau, who's great in the movie. I think he wrote it, too. I think he did.
He did.
And then at the end of the movie, he's just himself. And you can see that they hit it off. You know, he was saying that he was a struggling comic, struggling comedian, and she confessed that she was. And wow, it was just really nice to see them hit it off like that. And I said, yeah, just be yourself, and it'll be okay. All right. Any other questions?
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. I know that sounds like a cliche, folks, but it's really true. And I'm telling you, ladies, send the guy flowers. Forget it. You'll own him if you do that. And tell him that, when he says, how did you do this? Tell him that Chazz sent you. No, just kidding. But it's just really a great thing. Guys won't admit it, but wow.
Well, yeah, like with my wife, I mean, I've had plenty of girlfriends before that, and I've always acted like something I wasn't, and it was a little bit harder to maintain a relationship because, again, you have to pretend. But then once I was just myself with her, it's been about 10 years now, and everything's perfect. We know each other very well.
Right.
And we're just ourselves around each other. There's no hiding anything.
There's no hiding, no mystery. You know, guys pretend when they meet a girl that they have more money than they have. You don't want to do that. Now you got to live up to that. Now all of a sudden, if you're running out of money and it's not a good week, she wants to go somewhere. What are you going to say? I don't have it. You can't do that. You can't spoil them like that and make them think you have all this money when you don't. Because let's face it, what does she care about, you, although she cares about the money? You got to think about that.
Same thing. I mean, with my wife, when we first met, I had no money, and she knew that. But what she did, and when we were being ourselves, she helped me build my business. She kept pushing me. She's like, well, we don't have money now. Let's make it. I'm going to push you. I'm going to make you do better. And I understand that you want to. And she supported me the whole way, and she still supports me to this day.
Well, you're well blessed, my friend. John the One, the magic man. That's why we call him John the One. He makes things happen here on camera. Does all this kind of stuff. Dante, what do we got?
Next question. Okay, first of all, I wanted to say the show is awesome. Don't change. Okay. Oh wait, it actually said something nice.
All right,
the mix of having your son producing a podcast the way it's supposed to be done is simply great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Robbie. This is from Robbie G. My question is, other than the door test, were there other things wise guys insisted on when it came to their cars or driving, particularly with respect to maintaining a low profile? I can't imagine them wanting to have a bumper sticker or anything too distinguishable like so many cars have today.
No, bumper sticker. Why would a wise guy put a bumper sticker? What do you want him to have? You know, made in San Quentin? I don't know. What do you want him to have on his car? No, wise guys didn't have no bumper stickers on their car. You know, it's funny, but guys, you know, I talk about the door test. Everybody, we all know what the door test is. In fact, I'm coming out with a new sweatshirt called I Passed the Door Test for the ladies. It's going to be great. Go to ChazzPalminteri.net. You can pick up all my merchandise. I'm shameless. But, you know, girls, the ladies had a door test too. The men had this test, but the ladies had a door test. But it wasn't the car door. It was the home door. I'll give you an example. When a guy, ladies, drops you off at your house, and when you get out of the car, if he doesn't wait till you get in your house and shut the door, if he's gone before you hit your door, he's out. Same thing. Just like the door test, if the girl doesn't pick up the button for you, when you get around, dump her. And if a guy doesn't wait until you get in the house and shut the door, he's gone. Right there, it tells you something. So remember that. Tell your daughters, tell your kids, tell your son to do that, to wait for the girl to get in the house before. I say before. Don't let him pull away. Just let him wait.
Now, we're living in 2021 here.
Right.
So, I mean, what happens if, let's say, the girl picks the guy up on the date? What do you do? What's the old school way?
I don't think she has to wait. No, the girl doesn't.
Girl doesn't. The girl can just get the fuck out. Bye.
Yeah, she could be in the car and gone. Yeah.
Now, if the girl picked up the guy,
I think if you're waiting for your boyfriend to get in the house and you're looking after him, you got a problem. You got a fucking problem. You better not get into a jam with this guy if you're the protection. Yeah, no. I think the girl could just go. Yeah.
If you were on a first date, would you let the girl pay?
Never.
Never?
No, I don't believe. Yeah, I'm old school when it comes to that. It's just me. I'm not doing it to impress anybody. But if I'm out with people and friends, I pick up the check. That's what I'm talking about, being yourself. You better not pick up the check all the time if you can't pick up the check. Because sooner or later, you're going to look foolish. But on a date, the first date, I would never, ever let the girl pay. And it's just me. I'm not trying to be a chauvinist. That's just me. I'm old school. That's the way I am. Do you know the wonderful thing about my wife? And we've been married 30 years. When we go out to dinner, I'm buying dinner. You know what she says to me? Thank you for dinner, honey. Thank you for dinner. We're married 30 years. She says, thank you for dinner. And she said that to me the first date we had, and she said it to me, and I was so moved by that. Because there's some people you take out, and they don't thank you for dinner. Not that you have to hear it, but it's just nice to hear it. So again, my wife always says, thank you for dinner, and honey, thank you for coming into my life. You know what? That's about it today. This is the Chazz Palminteri podcast. Remember, if you want to see the one-man show, go to chazzpalminteri.net. There is my whole schedule there for 2022. Also, if you want to buy merchandise, I got this great apparel. The card, The Saddest Thing in Life is Wasted Talent. I have the original posters. If you want a one-on-one session with me about your career, about acting, writing, directing, or just talking about your career, go to chazzpalminteri.net. It was great today. I want to thank Dante, my son, and John the One here. And I just want to say, I'll see you next week.